Magandang hapon mga kaliga! Welcome to the Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association, ang liga para sa lahat. Ako nga pala si Fiona Bacaning, inyong courtside reporter para sa araw na to. At live po kami dito ngayon sa Enaria Sports Center all the way in Pasig for the first day of the second round of this tournament. Now it's going to be a very exciting Saturday triple header as 6 out of 8 teams go head to head today. Now in just a few moments we will be seeing some action between the Caloocan AM Spikers and the Dasmarinas City Monarchs. And of course, later at 3 p.m., we have the Pasay Lady Voyagers going up against the San Juan Lady Knights DHTSI at 3 p.m. And to end today's triple header, we do have the World City College's Marikina Lady Shoemasters going up against the defending champions, the Quezon Tangerines, at 5 p.m. Now, for those of you who aren't here at the venue today, you can always catch all the games live and free exclusively on pusapi.com. Your game, your community, join now. Powered by Smart, the official telco partner of the MPVA. And a special thanks as well to our media partners, Smart Sports and Puso Pilipinas. Now, as I said, talaga namang umiinit na mga labanan dito sa round 2. We are about to find out whether this will be the day that the Caloocan AM Spikers will create a massive upset and defeat the Dasmarinas City Monarchs, or if our Monarchs will continue on their winning streak from round 1. We're about to find out only here at the Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association.
The stakes will get higher in the competition and only get tougher sa pagsisimula ng round 2 ng ating elimination as Vangeline Sug and Dara Nieva, girls paving the way for their teams to get a win sa pagsisimula nga ng ating round 2 dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association. And to start off our triple header, magsisimula tayo sa clash between Caloocan AM Spikers and Dasmarinas City Monarchs. Good afternoon, volleyball fans. Sheila Salaysay alongside Loy Santa Maria. And earlier you've seen Fiona Bacani, our courtside reporter. We will be bringing you the action for this Saturday. Tatlong laro na maiinit ang matutunghayan ninyo. Pero Lois, pag-usapan natin itong Dasmarinas, still undefeated, habang itong AM Spikers naman naghahanap ng kanilang unang panalo.
So this is a truly opposite team. We have one team with no loss and another team with no win. So it's time for us to figure out, and we'll see how Caloocan was able to make adjustment from their last meetup against Dasmarinas Monarchs, and how Dasmarinas Monarchs still wanted to continue their clean slate for this league.
At nabanggit mo nga yung pag-usapan natin yung kanilang previous match. At pero bago yan, tingnan muna natin ang ating standings. At syempre on top pa din ang Dasmarinas, followed by Quezon and Binyan with 5 wins and 2 losses.
And again, Dasmarinas truly a display of dominance even as a newly added team for this league. And they even defeated the defending champions, the Quezon Tangerines, and still with a record of 7 wins and no losses. Dito sa kanilang magiging kalaban, Caloocan AM Spikers, they had 7 losses. Again, I've mentioned the total opposite of their current opponent. So followed by Binyan, Pasay, Negros, San Juan, and Marikina.
That's correct. At titingnan natin how the games will affect the standings for today. But before that, let's take a look at what happened sa unang pagtatagpo ng Dasmarinas, of course, and Caloocan. And that happened last October 11 sa Caloocan Sports Complex. It was a fast game wherein Dasmarinas completely dominated the game.
Well, speaking of dominating, we have Dasmarinas scoring a total of 75 points over Caloocan AM Spikers 42. As you can see, the difference in terms of attacks, we do have 35 for Dasmarinas Monarchs displaying, and this has proven that they have good execution in terms of their plays and attackings, also in blockings. And dito naman, pinaka nag-dominate at nagpakita ng lakas itong Dasmarinas with their aces almost one set. And this just shows how controlled their services are, putting Caloocan in struggling dito sa kanilang mga receptions.
That's correct. At syempre, marami nga nagpakita at nag-contribute ng kanilang laro on the side of Dasmarinas when they have been very consistent on that. But there's this one girl who really showed superb performance all throughout our tournament, and I'm referring to Samantha Cantada.
Is Samantha Cantada, one of the players that emerged para dito sa Dasmarinas Monarchs, scoring 14 points with 7 attacks and 7 aces.
That's right. Now, she had a slow start sa first season ng MPVA, but she found her groove through the first round and emerged as one of Dasmariñas City key players. Pero punta naman tayo sa kabilang side, this time from Caloocan AM Spikers. Of course, we have Manalo. Siya naman ang nangunguna in this team sa previous match against Dasmarinas, although she made quite a contribution, but still Rhea Manalo, and the team was not able to even get a set against Dasmarinas.
Rhea Manalo, a player that she's always consistent into contributing points for her team, even if natalo sila from their last match against Dasmarinas. She's still one of the players for Caloocan.
Pero titingnan natin kung sino pa ba aside from Rhea Manalo who can contribute and step up for today's game. Pero para masagot ang katanungan ko na yan, pasa ko muna kay Fiona for this report.
Now, this Caloocan squad may still be winless, but this team of veterans just refuses to give up. Now, with most players juggling work, school, and even coaching duties, finding the time to train together has been nearly impossible. Now, schedules change, practices get cancelled, and sometimes they even head straight from their night shift to the court. So they're tired but also very, very determined. Coach reminds them, andito na tayo, laruin lang natin. Kailangan natin ibalik ang enjoyment. And conditioning may be lacking, but experience is on their side. Now, these veterans know the game, they trust their instincts, and they fight to contribute in every set. For Caloocan, it's no longer about perfection. It's about pride, heart, and trusting in that veteran spirit that still burns strong. Now, that's all from me. Back to you, Sheila and Lois.
Well, of course, I like the positivity and kailangan talaga optimistic in every game dahil mas marami silang matututunan kahit sino man yung makalaban nila. At dahil painit ng painit ang ating mga laro dito sa MPVA, of course, you can catch the games live and free exclusively sa pusop.com. Your game, your community. Join now. Also, MPVA is powered by Smart, the official telco partner. And we would like to thank our media partners, Smart Sports at Puso Pilipinas. Now, we'll see if Caloocan AM Spikers will finally get their first W or the Monarchs will continue to roll. Pero malalaman natin yan sa pagbabalik ng Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association.
Representing our officials for our watch number 29. Our first referee, Mr. Lawrence Zuniga. Second referee, Mr. Paul Romeo. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the second season of Manny Pacquiao's Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association at Liga para sa Lahat. This is the first match of our Jimbo Hurricane, a game between Caloocan AM Spikers versus Dasmarinas City Monarchs. Hitter number 5, Percy Nieva. Beetle Plucker, number 6, Angelique Ledesma. Number 9, opposite hitter, Ray Amanalo. Number 11, setter, SJ Yan. Beetle Plucker, number 16, Son C. Dobb. And their first libero, number 4, Ronnie Lacerda. Caloocan AM Sparkers will be led by their head coach, Michael Palermo. Hitter number 7, Caloocan Jacob. Middle blocker number 11, Zell De La Peña. Another middle blocker number 16, Rachel Bahamonde. Outside hitter number 22, Kate Makasay. And their libero number 20, IC Simona. The Dasmarinas City Monarchs will be led by their head coach, Coach Regine Diego.
And there you have it, our starters from the two teams, starting off with Yap, Dahab, Ledesma, Espinosa, Nieva, Manalo, and Lacerda, the starting libero for Caloocan AM Spikers. We have Pono, De La Peña, Bahamonde, Makasait, Bombita, Jacob, and Cepada, their first libero. These are the girls of Coach Regine Diego. This is not the usual starters for Dasmarinas Lois, but of course, dahil malalim nga ang roster nila, we'll see as we begin the first set. And Caloocan AM Spikers get the first point because of an error by Bombita.
And a very lucky point for Caloocan, starting off with the first score for this set.
Short serve. Pono to the middle. Attack from the opposite. Makasait setting it up. Cepada magbibigay ng free ball. Chansa para sa Caloocan. Good attempt, but that is just too long. However, there was a touch according to our officials, and that is the attack of Rhea Manalo.
And Rhea Manalo being one of the top scorers para dito sa kanyang koponan, already making a score as early as now, taking advantage of Dasmarinas' error. Now, a service ace
Yes.
from Yap.
Yep, varying her services kanina. Short this time, medyo kargado.
And Caloocan already has 3 points. As early as now, they're being consistent with their services. And kung makukumpara natin yung previous matchup nila against Dasmarinas, I think we're seeing more improved plays coming from Caloocan.
That's correct. Well, better showing, syempre, dapat sa umpisa pa lang yan. Oh, the pancake. Yep, sets this one to Espinosa, rejected, but there was coverage. Down the line hit by Manalo works for Caloocan, and that is 4 straight points agad para dito sa AM Spikers. Early timeout called by Coach Regine Diego. Sunod-sunod yung puntos dito ng Caloocan, and you said, Lois, that this is a better play sa umpisa. And Coach Regine isn't liking what she's seeing.
And that consistent, itong sunod-sunod na errors coming from Dasmarinas was enough para magpatawag ng timeout itong si Coach Regine. As you can see, 4-0.
Pono sets this one to Bombita off the block. Attack from the back. Whistle, and again, the violation called against Dasmarinas.
I think that attempt for a back row attack, I think nag-stepping. So it's another point again for Caloocan.
Sharp serve. Bombita attacks. And finally putting their first point on the board.
Yeah, Bombita, one of the reliable players para dito sa koponan ng Dasmarinas Monarchs. Now showing off, it is good to see that they were able to recover dun sa mga errors kanina. Also, that's something that Coach Regine wants to see. A point from an attack.
Good first ball. Solo block by Bahamonte.
And slowly, nagre-recover na itong Dasmarinas Monarchs from the consistent scores of Caloocan.
Well read by Bahamonte. Sharp one, Yap. Goes to Espinosa. And finds the floor.
Chica Espinosa found the right spot. The captain ball. A good wrist action there by Chica Espinosa.
Pono to the opposite. Hammering it down. However, that is just wide.
It was, however, a good attempt for Bombita. Medyo controlled na lang, uncontrolled on that attack.
Caloocan leading by 5 at the start of our first set. Jacob finds the gap in between the blockers.
And Jacob almost took advantage of the blocker's hands. As you can see, the speed of her attack wasn't enough para ma-block itong Caloocan.
Good setup and adjustment for Dasmarinas. 2 serving 7. Yep. To Manalo once again and getting a point.
It's Manalo again and again, finding the right spot.
First technical timeout, Caloocan ahead by 5.
Only projects, plans, play, games! with Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
You can catch all the games live and free exclusively on pusop.com. Your game, your community. Join now. And also MPVA is powered by Smart, the official telco partner. And thank you to our media partner Smart Sports at Puso Pilipinas. And if you have time, tatlong games po today dito sa Inares Sports Arena. And admission is free, so we are inviting everyone to watch. This is our first day of the second round as Caloocan AM Spikers continues to get more points.
And errors are already piling up on the side of Dasmarinas. And it's just about time to at least recall. And a good attack there by Makasaet.
Makasaet was left with only one blocker and she took advantage of that. Easy point.
Already redeeming the errors that they got a while ago.
Bahamonde on deck. Yep. To the open and, well, Angelique Ledesma just adding a point on the board.
And I think from that attack, I think it was Daranyeva contributing that point. Attacking from the blocker's hands. One of the pioneer players for Caloocan AM Spikers.
Consistent also for Caloocan. Free ball ang ibibigay sa Dasma. Sansa ulit. Miscommunication between Yap and Dahab in that last setup.
And it just only tells one thing, no? If we can see, Dasmarinas is actually backed by NU players. However, for Caloocan, they're composed of players that came from different leagues, mga graduate, kumbaga. So I think they're still figuring out how to find connection for their team. But of course, we need to see it now, especially that we're currently in the second round of this league.
That's correct. But in that last sequence, it was a solid block by De La Peña. Nabanggit mo nga, Lois, na different teams galing itong Caloocan. Pero now, Dasmarinas, this is, I believe, the second stringers for Dasma, giving them more quality time on the floor as they have committed a service error.
And exactly, it's time for other players or other rosters of Dasmarinas to, of course, showcase yung mga skills na meron sila. However, for this set, after scoring a point, they keep on committing errors.
That's correct. But Makasaet, they're just tipping that over. Placing. Itong ginagawa dito ni Makasaet, consistent at the down the line.
Just finding the right spot.
Back quick, did not work for Caloocan. And slowly, Dasmarinas trimming down the lead only to 3.
Now, Caloocan keeps on committing errors. I think they're still figuring out the connection between the setter and the middle attacker.
Yep, to Espinosa. Free ball. Yep, setting this one to Espinosa. Another one. There was a whistle called against Dasmarinas.
And it was a net touch after scrambling on that net between Shika Espinosa guarding that last ball.
12 serving 8. Easy 1-2 play for Abigail Pono.
And Pono, very observant setter, making a decision there. Good decision there by Pono.
Caloocan did not anticipate na frontliner na nga itong si Pono. Another service error given up by the Monarchs.
And I've been mentioning this a while ago. After a point, they keep on committing an error. So, medyo sayang because right now we're seeing a different and improved plays coming from Caloocan. And if Dasmarinas keeps on committing error, Caloocan will just take advantage of that.
That's right. And apparently they are, because they are leading at this part of the set. Oh, that's too long para kay Shige Espinosa. No touch.
And that error is an opportunity for Dasmarinas para makahabol dito sa kalamangan ng Caloocan.
Serving 13. Yep, to Espinosa. She scores, redeeming from her previous error.
Chica Espinosa always finding the right spot. You can really see her vital eye here. She saw that there's an opening.
Pono to the opposite. And that one is Bombita showing off her version of an attack down the line.
And as you can see from that last frame, you can see kung gaano kataas yung leap niya. Even yung approach, even before hitting that ball, it's as if she already knew na mapapatay niya yung bola.
Chance para sa Dasma. Attack. And that, again, is a point earned by Jacob.
And as you can see, if you can really observe, hindi naman ganun kalakas pinalo ni Jacob yung bola. But because she knows how to take advantage of the blocker's hands, she did found a way to gain a point.
Bombita serves. Coverage was there for Caloocan. Another try for Nieva.
And Nieva already scoring 3 points for this set. So you can see it was a very fulfilling attack because the second time around given to her, it did work.
Good adjustment for Nieva. Caloocan ahead by 3. Great read on the offense by Caloocan AM Spikers, sending us to our second technical timeout, 16-12.
Projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
You are still watching the 2025 Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association. Now, the undefeated Dasmarinas City Monarchs continue their dominant run, but today it's the second stringers' time to shine. With their main players resting for upcoming games, more players step up today to prove that the Monarchs' strength runs deep. Now, in training, both the first 6 and the second stringers follow the same system. No shortcuts, no drop-off. Even in tune-up matches, dikit daw talaga ang labanan, showing just how competitive this roster truly is. Now, for these players, the goal isn't just to win, but to challenge and to push each other. Yung kaya ng isa, kaya rin ng lahat. Sipag lang talaga, sabi nila. Now for these Monarchs, it's taking it one game at a time, enjoying every moment and playing with pride and heart. No pressure, just purpose. Back to you, Sheila and Lois.
Thank you for that report, Fiona. And I like what she said, with purpose. Play with purpose. And of course, kanina nga napag-usapan natin, Lois, that these girls giving, quality time on the floor, definitely more exposure sa kanila. And, that's how they will learn in every game.
And of course, they're being up against veteran players dito sa kapunan ng Caloocan. So it's an opportunity for them, of course, to learn and see what these veterans can do.
Dasmarinas down by 2. Yep. Tumanalo. Picked up by Bahamonde. Attack. Rejected. Goes to Makasaet. Cross court did not work. Naibalik agad ang bola. Mpva off the block. Makasaet will try and ends that rally in favor of Dasmarinas.
And it's a good decision by Makasaet. As an off-speed, didn't work for her.
Nakadikit na nga dito ang Dasmarinas, and slowly but surely, earning 1 point at a time. Kanina, Caloocan was leading by 5, as high as 5, but now only having a 1-point lead.
And I think for Dasmarinas, now they're already figured out how to make adjustments para sa pinapakita nitong Caloocan AM Spikers.
We'll see how Caloocan will try to cope and lessen their errors from that timeout called. Bahamonde on deck. Yep. Tumanalo. Opposite picked up. And great effort by Dasmarinas.
And it was a point coming from Rhea Manalo. Being really explosive with her attacks.
That's correct. Too much for Dasmarinas to handle. After getting a point, committed an error at the service area. 15 serving 17. Yep. And that's Dahab with a slide and a tip.
And even if it seems like medyo hindi intentional yon, at we can see na hindi talaga masyado nawakan ng bola, but still a point is a point for Dahab.
That's right. Angat sa tatlong kalamangan nila. Timeout called by Coach Regine as Caloocan continues to score. They are top by 3 points. Kanina, nakakahabol na kunti-unti itong Dasmarinas. But you like the effort displayed here by Caloocan dahil pinagtatrabahuhan nila yung kanilang mga puntos. And they just need to be consistent.
And of course, we're seeing more improved plays and defense. I think they're already learning, especially from that heartbreaking losses from the previous rounds. And again, they're still marked as a winless team. But now, we're seeing their efforts into attempting to at least at least win a game. Fortunately, another error coming from Rhea Manalo.
Yeah, except in that last setup.
And for a team na marunong humabol with that lead coming from Caloocan, it's also time for Caloocan to minimize their errors as early as now.
Free ball ang ibibigay sa Dasma. Bombita tries but she was dug. Yap. Sets this one to Espinosa. And that ball went through the blockers. Point earned by Caloocan.
Of course, Shika being one of the veteran players, sure knows how to take advantage of the blockers. Just the right amount of power and speed on that attack.
Cepeda magbibigay ng free ball. Yep. And great slide, but that was dug and converted to a point though.
And now we're seeing more presence of mind, especially coming from Pono with that decision. A display of volleyball IQ there.
Nomil checks in, replacing De La Peña. Last game ng Dasmarinas, itong si Nomil ay libero.
So if we're seeing her dito sa service line, means she's not only a service specialist but also she can contribute dito sa floor defense ng Dasmarinas.
Correct. But not in that last sequence though. That was not anticipated by Dasmarinas. Caloocan continues to be on the lead here in the first set. Service error.
So these are exchanges of errors from both teams.
Now serving Abigail Bono, 19, serving 21.
Dasmarinas chasing a 2-point lead.
Now Pono is on the back row after serving this one.
Espinosa tries and there was a touch. That mukhang outside na yung palo na yun. Pero hindi yun nabasa ni Makasaet at the back.
Masaet fully misread that one. Of course, it's a lucky point for Shika Espinosa.
Almost an ace. Cross-court attack. Finding the line.
And Bombita already scoring a lot for this set.
That was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now. Yap. To Manalo. Off the block. Off speed, and that was well read by the libero, Tanagan.
And again, errors are piling up on the side of Dasmarinas. Now we're seeing substitution from Monilio. Now we can see Ledesma out of the court.
Caloocan 2 points away in winning first set.
And now we have 3 spikers in the front line for both teams.
Manalo attempts picked up by Cepeda. Makasaet off speed. Combination play. Still read by the defense. Solo block that time, courtesy of Mpva. That was against Jacob in front.
Now Caloocan is at the set point after a good block there by Mpva. Of course, redeeming, at least getting a win from their last meetup against Dasmarinas.
Chance para sa Caloocan. Goes to Manalo down the line. And she delivers their 25th point. What a way for Caloocan AM Spikers to start round number 2 with a win in set number 1. Let's see that last setup by Manalo or too manalo, too much to handle for Cepada.
And we did saw improved plays from Caloocan.
That's correct. (25-20) is the score for set number 1. We will be giving you the second set when the Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association returns.
Fans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
(25-20), that is the score. And Caloocan AM Spikers winning the first set of the first round against this Monarchs, Luis. And it was a better outing sa simula ng set number 1. We've seen more efforts coming from AM Spikers, pero more errors on the side of Dasmarinas.
Exactly. So we saw, again, I've been mentioning, we saw a different atmosphere para dito sa Caloocan. They have more improved plays, defense. I think they're more attentive and composed for this set. And of course, it's also a fulfilling win dahil nga it's a redemption of of the dominating opponent na tinalo sila from their last matchup. As you can see here, Caloocan already had 13 attacks over 12 attacks of Dasmarinas, so medyo hindi nagkakalayo. At in terms of blocks, almost the same. But dito nakakuha ng panalo itong Caloocan with less errors. At ito namang Dasmarinas, they have errors already piling up on their side, which then gave a win for Caloocan.
We'll see if madadala na Caloocan yung momentum na yon going to the second set. As an error to start off para sa Dasmarinas.
And it was somehow a similar start dun sa first set kanina, which Dasmarinas started with an error, and now they also started with an error para dito sa second set.
No blocks. And okay, the final call from our first referee, it was out, or it was in rather. That's why the ball will go back to Dasmarinas.
Well, Well, at first, we also thought na outside nga because of the speed ng bola and also yung trajectory. Of course, we have our line judge there na mas malapit na nakita. But of course, now Makasait contributing a point dito sa service line. Already has 5 points.
Yup, goes to Espinosa. Easy pickup. Off the block. Bombita unleashes a bomb.
Itong mga atake ni Bombita, pag nabibigyan siya ng bola, kanina niya pa napapatay eh. She's really effective on that area.
Very explosive. Actually, yung approach pa lang niya and the power na meron every time na she will hit that ball. But another service error. Easy point ibibigay dito ng Dasma.
And again, one of the things that remain para dito sa Dasmarinas is committing an error after a point.
Espinosa getting a point from the service line.
Espinosa present in all department, also helping her team sa kanilang floor defense and as well as offenses.
Pono to Bombita. This time she's blocked, but that ball goes out.
But somehow a good attempt for Mpva. Just the hand position yung nakapagbigay ng puntos para dito sa Dasmarinas.
The timing and the blockers. But that's too strong. And the Bombita just knows how to attack that ball, utilizing the blocker's hands. Yup. To Mpva. There was coverage. Goes to the other side. To Manalo. Hammering it cross court.
Of course, Manalo really knows how to end that almost rally in that last frame. She really knows where to place the ball. A very good angle there.
Pono to Bombita. And that is still in. Unstoppable Bombita at this part of the set.
Truly a spectacular performance for Bombita here.
And they take on the lead by a point.
And as you saw from that last frame, sobrang yung speed ng bola wasn't enough para madepensahan itong Caloocan.
Manalo tries. And a drop again will work. Smart move by Pono.
And we saw how Tanagan and Espinosa almost with hesitation para dun sa drop ball coming from Pono. And again, Pono, one of the smart players para dito sa kupunan ng Dasmarinas.
And iangat pa nga ng Caloocan yung bola. Dasmarinas tries, picked up by Tanagan. Espinosa sets it up to Mpva, but she was sent back.
I would say a solid block coming from Jacob. Reading that well in the earlier part.
Service ace again for Bombita. And makukuha ng Dasmarinas ang kalamangan as Bombita sends us to our first technical timeout. 8-4.
Plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now. Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
You are still watching the 2025 Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association. Now for the undefeated Dasmarinas Monarchs, dropping a set to Caloocan was a wake-up call. This isn't who they are and their coaches made that clear. Have a sense of urgency, sabi ng coach. Hindi maghihintay sa inyo ang game para umayos. You have to put in the work. Now the message was firm. The Monarchs were built on pride, discipline, and simplicity. Baka nakakalimutan nyo kung sino kayo, sabi pa ni Coach Reg. You were chosen because you're the best. Show it. Simple lang naman ang volleyball. Just play smart and play true to our standard. Now the Monarchs know that they can't rely on talent alone. It's time to reset, refocus, and remind everyone why they're still the team to beat. Back to you, Sheila and Lois.
It's a different kind of a motivation approach para kay Coach Regine. But of course, well, it's different. Depende sa coach and hers. Masasabi ko, you know, one of a kind, and I like how she motivates her players through that approach.
I would definitely agree with what Coach Regine said to her players. Kasi we all know that they're very reputable and we all know they're backed by NU players. And from the NCAA, we know how powerful these teams are. And it's just time for them to recollect and at least to be reminded what they are capable of.
That's correct. Well, before, of course, NU plays for UAAP. But after getting that service is error naman ang ibibigay dito ni Bombita. But still, they are leading by 5. 5 serving 10. Naya Manalo on deck for Caloocan.
We have Rhea Manalo on the service line, now on the back row. Also Bombita.
Nieva down the line. And she earns a point.
Dara Neva. That wrist action there. I think she was really aiming for that spot and it did work on her end.
Off the block. No follow-up from Caloocan.
And that's the first point for Herlin Nomil.
Akalain mo, no? Libero na palo ngayon. Yan ang yan ang gusto ng mga libero pag nagiging spiker sila. Naka-ace pa. Back-to-back points for Nomil.
And Nomil showing how versatile she is. Can either be a libero, a service specialist, an attacker. Herlin Nomil, a former lady spiker.
Running attack, led by Cepada. Over the blockers that time is Dasmarinas. And that last attack is Kate Makasait. Kaya naman tatawag ng timeout rather, ang Caloocan. And nakita mo na yung approach ni Makasait is somewhat similar to
Tama na sa kami ng blocker natin, hindi pa natin nakukuha. Ano tayo? Tulungan tayo, sipag ha? Usap! Yung peso sa inyo kapag mas malapit ka na kunin mo na. Magsalita kasi kayo nila. Girls, pag nakita nyo papaling ka na ba, huwag kayo lahat umatras. Tingnan nyo pa rin yung short ball kung sino pwede kumuha ng short ball.
So it's just a reminder of the position at yung scope ng kanilang mga spaces. And of course, so coach reminding his players na dapat magkaroon ng sipag at syaga dito. Of course, Caloocan, Dasmarinas rather.
At ang ganda kasi ng pinakita nila nung first set So they just need to be able to have that consistency as Dahab contributes a point in that last sequence.
And now, Dahab is activated. But unfortunately, still misses yung mga attacks niya before. She used to have explosive attacks. But apparently, what we're seeing right now, medyo off-speed attacks. But another point coming from Dasmarinas.
Makasae just hammering it cross court. Lucky point para sa Caloocan. Nagtinginan lang doon si Tanagan at si Nieva, I believe. Dahil labasan nila ng maayos yung serve na yon. Dahab on deck. Pono goes to the open. And again, Makasaet cannot be stopped.
Makasaya just been really effective for this set. I think she now has 8 points for this match.
Serving 8. Yap. Sets it to the open. And you like that attack. Coming from Raslan. You're just hitting the ball in between the blockers of Dasmarinas.
And kanina itong si Raslan medyo tahimik. Now already showing off para dito sa second set. And I think that was her first point for this match.
That's correct. Instant response for Dasmarinas. And that's Jacob, and nobody on the side of Caloocan even attempted to defend the net against this hit.
And it was a very good angle coming from Bombita.
Second technical timeout, Dasmarinas leading up big, 16-9.
Projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy! Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now!
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
You're still watching Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association, and you can catch all the games live and free exclusively on pusop.com. Your game, your community. Join now. Powered by Smart, the official telco partner of the MPVA, and special thanks to our media partner Smart Sports at Puso Pilipinas. And if you have time and free on the Saturday, punta kayo dito sa Inare Sports Arena sa Pasig. We have 3 interesting matches for all you guys to start a second round of this tournament.
And just the right placement for Bahamonde. This is a power tip. Nakahanap lang ng tamang butas ito si Bahamonde, knowing that there's an opening in a spot.
17 serving 9. Lumalayo na ang Dasmarinas dito. Free ball. Onot goes to the middle, blocked. One more time with a drop and brainy move by Bahamonde.
Bahamonde being consistent for this set. 2 consecutive scores, points for Dasmarinas, courtesy of Bahamonde.
Service error.
And that's a service error point for Caloocan and Spikers.
Now it's an opportunity for Caloocan to take advantage of those errors.
10 serving 18. Oh, a sharp one and an ace.
That's a service ace point for Caloocan.
And Susan Raslan present not only on the attack line, but also here on the service line. Very well controlled service.
Still down by 7 points. Down to 6 because of 2 service aces. Back-to-back points for Raslan.
And Raslan's service has been really on point for this frame.
12 serving 18.
Pono to the opposite of the block. Didiskarte ang Caloocan. Manalo. Too strong for the blockers of Dasmarinas.
Of course, Manalo with variety of attacks. Also knows how to take advantage of the blocker's hands.
Raslan still on deck. Service error committed. Angat sa 6 ang kalamangan ng Dasmarinas, 19 serving 13. Bahamonde serves. Yap, to Manalo. Picked up. Bombita with a drop. Nandun si Lacerna. Nieva finding the floor. Hitting that down the line.
And yung zone na yun na kanina na pang tina-target, I think she was really aiming for that because she knows that's the right spot to gain a point.
Lingay checking in. 14 serving 19. A sharp one. Pono gives it to Bombita. And another attack, not too strong, just finding that empty space in the middle on the court of Caloocan.
It was a very good leap coming from Bombita. And of course, a way to deceive itong Caloocan AM Spikers.
Bombita committing an error, yes, after that point earlier.
Now we can see different players coming in para dito sa kunan ng Caloocan. We now have Bien Juanillo.
Caloocan down by 5. Free ball. Yup. Too low, pero nagawa ng paraan. That time, lumusot ang atake ni Ferlin Nomel.
And Ferlin Nomel, as you can see, I was observing her kanina na pa napaparaanan yung mga bola. And of course, you have to be reminded, kakapasok na lang, but still, she's consistent in contributing points para dito sa kanyang kupunan.
Minsan lang maging spiker, so gagawa na ng paraan para umokay. Puntos na yun dapat sa Caloocan dahil outside yung serve, but there was a whistle called against them. Rotational error. Sayang mga pagkakataong ganito for Caloocan.
And this has been one of the problems para dito sa Caloocan because when I was covering their previous match, one of the errors na naging consistent para sa kanila, itong rotational error. And that's something that they can prevent.
Another opportunity wasted actually. No, she really had a good intention in mind, but poor execution ni Nieva. Timeout called by Caloocan. Let's listen in.
Strong position, tapos yung set. Ano tayo, yung focus natin kasi, hindi ko alam maganda yung set nakita ko lang maayos Wag niyong bitawan, sayang kasi. Maganda yung set
Of course, it was just a reminder how to give justice dun sa magandang set nitong pinapakita ni Jolan Rica. And of course nga, sayang nga naman if there are good passes and good set. It's just about time for the attackers to hit the ball and at least get it through the net.
Jolan to Raslan. Free ball for Dasma. Nandun si Nieva. Sets it to the opposite. Picked up. And Caloocan AM Spikers getting the ball back because of a whistle violation called against Dasmarinas.
And we also saw how Pono was clarifying kung saan tumama. And I think sa baba ng net.
Off the block. Not too strong of a hit. And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now. 23 serving 16. Service ace.
And I think that was a very fulfilling service ace coming from Jacob, especially targeting a libero.
And with that, it ends set number 2. What a comeback para dito sa Dasmarinas City Monarchs. 25-16 is the count. We are now 1 set apiece.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Nakabawi dito ang Dasmarinas City Monarchs against sa Caloocan AM Spikers. And they just executed yung sinabi kanina ni Coach Regine sa kanila during the huddle, right? And on the side of Caloocan, sila naman yung dumami-dami ang errors dito sa set number 2.
It truly is a comeback for Dasmarinas, and we've seen well-distributed ball. There may still be errors, but more efficient attacks. And you also saw yung shift ng momentum. They also figure out their lapses na gusto naman ni Coach Regine kanina from the previous timeout. And as you can see here, Dasmarinas displayed more attacks and more blocks. Kahit whether mas madami yung errors nila, again, they were more efficient and have, of course, more distributed plays.
That's right. As we start the third set, and in that last sequence, it went in favor of Caloocan, courtesy of
And Manalo also one of the players that's fired up on the side of Caloocan.
Yap serving for AM Spikers. Pono tumakasain with a free ball. Tumanalo off speed. Actually, hindi ako sure kung off speed o miss hit. Pero putos pa rin yun.
But still, a point is a point para dito kay Rhea Manalo.
Di ba hindi mo alam kung intentional na ganon haluin yung bola.
But of course, it's a matter of how Dasmarinas will, of course, pay attention sa lahat ng bolang nag-distribute sa kanila. And from that,
An ace added to the board for Yap. Back-to-back service aces. Parang naulit lang yung first set natin, no? It was 4-0 sa simula nung set number 1 natin, Lois. And this is happening again this time at this part of the match. And it was Caloocan. And it's Yap, the setter, dictating the pace. You know, and taking control of the tempo so far. Idagdag mo pa yung service aces.
exactly. And we also saw how Yap is not only present dito sa service line, but also how well she orchestrated the plays for Caloocan on the first set, and as well as dito from the early attacks of Rhea Manalo.
Good serve. Makasait will try, pero naiangat yan ng Caloocan. Free ball for Dasma. Makasait once again. She's blocked and no coverage for Caloocan.
Still, Makasait found a way to get through the blocker's hands. She really hammered that ball down. And there was no enough coverage para dito sa kupunan ng Caloocan.
Good serve. Espinosa with the drop. Nabasa ni Bahamonde. Makasait tries. Yap tumanalo. And a whistle was blown. Balik sa Dasma ang bola.
And I think that attack from Manalo didn't go through. It was blocked by the net. And we still have Pono on the service line. Means that Dasmarinas has 3 attackers in the front line.
But gave up an error. A service error. Caloocan leading by 3. Espinosa on deck. Bahamonde. Binigay kay Makasait off the block. Confusion once again between Espinosa and Lacerna. Pero dapat hindi nagkakaroon ng confusion. It's
Exactly.
automatic libero's ball.
Exactly. And one of the rules of libero is yung depensahan lang naman talaga yung bola. And as for Bombita, even if adjusted yung bola na yun, she still managed to kill that ball.
Well read by Espinosa in that last sequence. Smart attack coming from Manalo.
And Manalo again and again being consistent para dito sa attacking department. Now we have Ledesma on the service line, former Letran Lady Knight.
Bombita from the opposite. Blocked by Dahab. She tries once again. Naiangat. Nieva gives up a free ball. Nomil. And she will find the floor.
And again, Nomil, isa sa mga inaasahang players, especially for this set. She's really doing her job wherever position she's assigned to.
For serving 6, Bahamonde serves for Dasma. A service ace earned.
And a very controlled service coming from Bahamonde.
With that error, labas si Espinosa. Reslan on the floor for Caloocan. 5 serving 6. Manalo with a hammer.
Manalo with a very explosive attack on the opposite. It's a good leap, a very powerful spike.
The timing as well, di ba? Pero error naman na ipinamigay that easily.
And both of the top scorers ay nandito na sa back row. You have Bombita and Rhea Manalo.
Slide by Dahab, easy to read. Sepada to Nomil. Picked up. Chance para sa Dasma. A slide and another drop. I like how Hakob is trying to vary, her attacks. Just outsmarting the defense of Caloocan.
Exactly, a very smart move. She saw that the players na magdi-defend para sa mga bola, naka-adjust into defending a strong attack. And another error coming from Caloocan.
With that error by Caloocan, Dasmarinas taking the lead, leading us to our first technical timeout.
Plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
You can catch all the games live and free exclusively on pusop.com. Your game, your community. Join now. Thank you so much to Smart, our official telco partner, and to our media partners, Smart Sports and Puso Pilipinas. Sheila Salaysay, Regarded Loy, Santa Maria, and Fiona Bacani bring you the action live dito sa Inare Sports Arena. This is the first of our triple header for today. Kaya naman, kung wala kayong ginagawa, volleyball fans, catch the games live dito sa arena. 1-2 plays from one setter to another. But it was Dasmarinas winning in that last frame, getting the ball back, leading by 2 at this part of the set.
Of course, Pono with that decision when the opponents least expects it.
Reslan from the back, too wide.
And another errors are piling up on the side of Caloocan. Also, we saw how more attentive Dasmarinas has become, especially with their floor defense.
Well, they have to be dahil dikit ang laro natin at this part of the set. At, if they would want to take on another set win, kailangan nila mas maging aggressive. As Yap sets this one to Nieva, but it was blocked. Mapapatawag ng timeout dito ang Caloocan. That was a violation called against Caloocan. Pakinggan natin ang AM Spikers.
Ano ba, lalarin ba natin to? Saya na naman tayo, nandito na naman tayo sa ganito. Kaya naman eh. Actually, lamang tayo noon ngayon sila. Sinong isasab?
Sort of a bit of frustration para dito kay Coach Michael Palermo. Well, it was obvious. Nanalo sila nung beginning set. So, kaya talaga nila. It's just that they cannot be consistent when it comes to their performance this part of the match. And coming from a timeout, nakapuntos pa itong Dasmarinas by Bombita.
And Coach Palermo was just reminding his players about how to get back dun sa pag-alaga sa lamang, and yet there's another confusion with their receptions.
That's correct. A drop, and alam na agad no ni Jacob na out yung kanyang hulog.
And it really happens naman talaga where players commit errors. But it was still a good attempt for Jacob.
8 serving 12. Pono to Jacob, picked up. Down the line attack, nakuha. Nomel sets this one to Bombita from the back, and that's going to be her 13th point at this part of the game. And that was this game's community camp, powered up by PusoP.com. Your game, your community. Join now.
And from that last frame, we have Jonna Dolorito, a former player para sa Rizal from the last season. Also with her coach Chanel Wanta.
Another point earned by Dasmarinas because of that service ace by Nomil.
And Nomil proving why she was tasked to be the service specialist para dito sa Dasmarinas Monarchs.
Raslan tries over the blockers, gets that score.
And Aslan found a way to at least shift the momentum back on her team. Of course, with that cross-court attack.
Almost a point there. Cepada sets this one to Makasait. Easy pickup. And a push to the back. Pero naiangat yan ng Dasma. Free ball for Caloocan. A slide was see, and she was blocked by Makasait. Ledesma. Hindi nagawa ng paraan yung setup na yon.
And Makasayat, a very good blockings and presence of mind para mabantayan itong net.
Error given up by Dasma.
Another free point para dito sa kupunan ng Caloocan.
Still, they are down by 5 as Iyap on deck for the AM Spikers. Makasait attempts, rejected. Goes to Bombita from the back, picked up. Pono, a no-go. Excellent angle for Makasait, but that drop by Raslan was way better, acknowledging that empty spot on the floor of Dasmarinas.
And it's a very good timing for Aslan to make decision on that. And everybody was expecting a powerful attack. However, another error.
Another service error given up by Caloocan, giving Dasmarinas their 16th point, sending us to our second technical timeout. Lamang ang Dasmarinas ng 5.
Projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Welcome back to the 2025 Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association. Now, one of the younger players on the team, Dara Nieva, continues to prove that leadership isn't about age, it's about presence. Mas nakakalaro ako ng maayos pag nagsasalita ako kaysa yung tahimik lang, sabi niya. Vocal talaga ako ever since, always making it a point to speak up and encourage her teammates, especially in difficult moments. Nung una, medyo nahihiya pa ako, pero ngayon mas comfy na kasi kami-kami lang din naman magtutulungan para sa Caloocan. At ngayon, all out lang, wala namang mawawala, enjoy lang kami. Now for Dara Nieva, leadership means lifting others up and always reminding her team to keep fighting no matter the score. Back to you, Sheila and Lois.
Well, there is no way but up. And I like Dara Nieva says na laban lang. Diba? And with the record that they have so far dito sa tournament, you know, there is really a lot to learn and mahaba-haba pa yung torneo na to and they can still, you know, win or get a win. Katulad nung nagawa nila kanina, nauna silang makapanalo ng isang set against Dasmarinas.
Of course, it really does make a change when someone is stepping up at least to lift their spirits. And I think yung pagiging vocal ay isa sa mga traits na nadala ni Dara Nieva inside the court while also playing for the UE Lady Warriors back in the collegiate.
A service error from Dasmarinas. Rika Diolan in, replacing Yap as the playmaker. 12 serving 17. Too strong para sa Caloocan.
These are exchanges of errors for both teams.
#18 serving 12. Nieva. Pono to Bombita with a drop. Read by Nieva. Diolan to Nieva, cross court. Too much to handle for Cepeda.
Of course, Nieva.
That was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now. Good serve. Pono gives this one to Bombita from the opposite. Rejected, but that ball goes out.
That attack was just too much para madepensahan itong Caloocan AM Spikers. Again, courtesy of Bombita, we got a very explosive attack. Now we have Bahamonde on the service line.
Manalo tries too low. That won't go through.
We're seeing similar errors from the previous set para dito sa Caloocan.
Timeout called here. Pakinggan natin.
Ito, pag ganun mga bitin, mataas naman yung bola, habulin pa rin natin. Oo, yung 4 pa, di ba? Gawin lang natin, girls, pag kayang habulin yung bola, habulin natin. Hindi kasi natin pwedeng hayaan lang. Tulad yan, di magpupito. Tinignan nyo lang yung bola sa harap. Huwag nyo ito yung laro hanggat ipupito yung mga referee.
So for Coach Palermo, it's really important to have yung attempt sa paghabol ng bola.
Rachel Bahamonde serving.
yun, napakaiksi na lang ng kanyang mga reminders because it's really basic. 'Di ba? Basic naman kasi yung nagiging error ng team niya. And he recognizes it. Kailangan lang ulitin para ipaalala sa kanila. We'll see if that reminder will work. Oh, what a setup right there by Jacob. That time to Pono or the other way around. And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now.
And I think ito yung pinakaunang nakita ko, yung atake na yon coming from Jacob. And,
Manalo slams it down the line.
and Manalo with all that strength, na-distribute niya dun sa bola. That attack was really on point para dito kay Rhea Manalo.
Pag maganda talaga yung setup kay Manalo na nakakapunto siya. And again, that is left empty in the middle of the court for Caloocan. Kanina pa nila actually doon sila nagkakaroon ng error because no one wants to commit.
Exactly. And yun nga yung nire-remind ni Coach kanina is to attempt, especially when saving the ball. And of course, still, kudos to Nomil for making adjustment and gaining another point for her team even with that break ball.
Mpva just finding a way to earn a point in that last setup.
And because Mpva knows how to respond para dito sa atake na pinapakita ng Dasmarinas.
Pono gives it to Bombita from the back with a drop. Nabasa yan ni Dahab. Goes to Nomil this time, off speed. Raslan with a powerful hit.
And now we're starting to see kung paano na-uplift yung spirits itong Caloocan. There have been change and shift of momentum.
That was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now. A service ace.
Darren Mpva also present, contributing another point para sa kanilang mga service aces.
Pono to Bombita from the back. And again, just hitting and finding a way to get the balls go through on the court of Caloocan.
As you can see here, even coming from the back, Bombita still managed to at least gain a point targeting that spot with a long ball.
I believe double digit na itong si Bombita. Jacob was blocked. Free ball ang ibibigay sa Dasma. Another one. You can see how Pono, taking matters into her own hands. And doing that a few times already for this match.
Pono truly doing wonders for her team. Doing the most unexpected things.
Good first ball. And a drop will work for Caloocan, and that's Sonsi Dahab.
And unfortunately, there was nobody to pick up itong save ni Pono kanina.
Jacob with an easy hit from the middle. Na-delay pa yung blockers dito ng Caloocan. And Dasmarinas City Monarchs getting another set win. 25-18. 2 sets to 1. Lamang ang Dasmarinas.
Plans, play, game! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Unli projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Unli projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Unli projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Unli 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Ito na yung unti-unti nila pag-arangkada from, losing the first set. At hindi na nga sila dito mapahinto ng Caloocan AM Spikers. It's been an inconsistent performance for the girls of Coach Michael Palermo.
And for this set, we saw how Dasmarinas became more attentive. As you can see here, they had more attacks dito para over Caloocan. And as you can see here, isa sa mga rason kung bakit nakakuha sila ng panalo, even if with that similar attack, because of the errors na pinamigay nitong Caloocan.
Yes, too many errors. No, na hindi natin nakita nung first set. And naalala ko nga sinabi ni Coach Palermo na kaya naman kasi talaga nila makapanalo. It's just that they need to be more consistent. At syempre, gawin yung role nila on the floor. As we begin the first, or rather the fourth set. And it was Caloocan getting the first point on the tally.
And it's just a matter of how Caloocan could remain consistent para sa mga paggawa ng tama inside the court. Of course, minimizing the errors, bridging the gap from how they struggled sa mga previous sets.
Ace by Espinosa, and she was silent and not on the floor last set, but now back.
And they needed that leadership coming from Shika Espinosa.
Yes, kasi if I'm not mistaken, well, she did like 5 points nung beginning set natin. Pero ito nagpabigay ng isang error. And Makasait also one of the key leaders dito sa Dasmarinas. Pono sets this on to Bombita off the block. Diolan pupunta kay Manalo. Hits that down the line.
Of course, Caloocan really wants to gain another point. You just have to rely to Rhea Manalo.
Good serve. Pono sets it to the middle, or rather to the opposite. Sumabit pa sa net yung palo dito ni Bombita, but still,
Something that we can call saved by the net.
yes,
Atake ni Pono.
tama ka dyan. Wala kang kumuha on the side of Caloocan. Service error given up by Dasma.
And another point, free point para dito sa Caloocan. And it seems like itong Dasmarinas na naman ang maghahabol para dito sa ating fourth set.
Pono to Bombita. Picked up by Espinosa. She'll try once again. Angat naman ni Manalo this time. Free ball for Dasma. Goes to the other side and that ball will go to Caloocan. On deck is Rhea Manalo with already 13 points. As Pono gives this one. Quick set did not work for Dasmarinas. But Raslan just hitting it cross court. Standing spike. Unexpected on the side of Dasmarinas. Lahat sila nagulat.
And it's just an unexpected, I would say unexpected score para dito kay Raslan because it was just adjusted eh. Then another point for Dasmarinas.
Ang bilis nakabawi dito ni Bombita. They are down by 3. Bombita already having 17 big points for this game. And a point from that slide, courtesy of Sonsi Dahab.
And now I think Dasmarinas is now slowly struggling with their floor defense.
Raslan serving for Caloocan. Pono to Nomiel, picked up, and that's too strong for La Serna.
And I would say it's another fulfilling attack. Dahil targeting a libero, libero specializing in floor defense.
Chica Espinosa tries, blocked, but there was coverage. Raslan sets that one up but still rejected. Ang hirap naman kasi ng setup na yon para kay Chica.
And of course, especially if you have blockers na very attentive para dito sa Dasmarinas.
Di man lang gumalaw yung blockers ni Sheena. Oh, Violan really had something good in mind though.
It was really a good attempt. But I think konti na lang eh.
Manalo tries from the back. Pono to Bombita with a rocket. And that is just too strong. Grabe, mapaharap, mapalikod yung lakas ng palo ni Bombita. Pareho lang. Can see the leaping ability of this girl. Timeout called by Caloocan. Pakinggan natin.
Paulit-ulit tayo eh. Tsaka tawag ito wala tayong coverage. Papalo yung mga wing natin, wala. Ang layo ng bola dito, lapit agad. Kailan anticipate nyo lang ganun? Eh hindi nga nakabuelo masyado si Chica, halata na sa babas Chica. Ang gagawin na ni Chica nun, papatalmugin para ma-touch ball sa atin.
Sige lang. Always a reminder dun sa basics na dapat punan nito mga players ni Coach Palermo. Of course, it's not only about attacking. Dapat there's also a response to every action. Just like kung sinabi niya kanina, coverage after an attack. Because we all know how efficient the blockers are also on the side of Dasmarinas. So the only way to counter that is of course to have a good coverage.
Tied at 7. And a good read by Raslan and Manalo. Pupunta tayo sa first technical timeout at leading ng 1 point ang Caloocan.
Projects, plans, play, games! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy! Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now!
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Attack by Dasma. And that attempt by Makasahet will not work. Balik sa Caloocan ng bola. Already with 2-point lead. Dahab on the floor. With an error. Easy point given away to Dasmarinas. Pero ito, may report muna si Fiona Bacani.
For Mpva, today's game is more than just minutes on the court. It's a moment to prove herself. Now, usually a second stringer for Dasmarinas, she steps up big time today, showing heart and hustle that come from years of quiet hard work. Now, despite battling asthma, she never stopped playing. Baliktad nga sabi niya. Pag nag-volleyball daw siya, dun siya gumiginhawa. Now, far from home, Mpva plays not just for herself but for her family's dream. Pangarap kasi ng mama at papa ko na magsama-sama kami dito sa Maynila, sabi niya. Ginagawa ko to para sa kanila, para sa future namin. Now today, that determination shows as Mpva making her mark for Dasma one play at a time. Back to you, Sheila and Lois.
Thank you for that report, Fiona. Yes, Mpva just, one of the diligent really liberos that we have in the tournament. Libero po siya ng Dasmarinas, si Mpva. Kaya naman buhay na buhay ang opensa ng Dasmarinas dahil sa tibay ng depensa dito ni si Mpva.
Of course, from that last report, she was also driven and motivated because of her family. So it really reflects here inside the court.
That's correct. Confusion on the floor for Caloocan. And with that, Dasmarinas gaining a 2-point lead. Still serving is Jacob. Sharp serve. And no one wants to get the second ball para dito sa Caloocan.
And it's really evident right now how Caloocan is struggling dito sa kanilang mga floor defense. Even their libero a while ago seems to be hesitant sa pagkuha ng mga bola.
Jacob already delivering 7 points for Dasma. And everyone is just at the front of the court. Another drop and finally successful for the AM Spikers. And that one is Ledesma.
It was a very good running attack coming from Ledesma. Tipping over the ball.
Oh, sharp serve. Pono. What an effort. Chance for Caloocan. Manalo. That's a difficult setup. Makasayit off the block.
Of course, Makasayit kanina medyo tahimik. Now already making a noise for this set. And it's really amazing how we not only hear from one person para dito sa Dasmarinas. We have contributions coming from Nomil, Bombita, and now Makasayit coming
Halos
back.
lahat, no? Halos
Mhm.
lahat on the roster for today para dito sa Dasmarinas.
Exactly.
Good attempt by Manalo. Makasayit tries. Too high. Over the blocker's hands.
And a point for Caloocan AM Spikers.
11 serving 13. Pono to the middle. Solo block. That time. Good pickup. Violan adjusting. Free ball for Dasma. Shika setting this one. Though, magbibigay na free ball. Pono to the other side. And Makasayit just everywhere on the court for Dasma.
Of course, Makasayit redeeming herself from that previous error and also wanting to observe dito sa kupunan ng Caloocan. Wala nang liberong pinasok. And it was one thing about their floor defense and decision nito ni Coach Palermo.
Miscommunication between Yap and Rasnan. A lot of opportunities dito hindi na ma-maximize ng Caloocan because of their errors. One hand setup. Naiangat ni Shika but that will not work. Dasmarinas has taken over the lead, sending us to our second technical timeout.
Only project plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable. For only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
You can catch all the games live and free exclusively on pusopi.com. Your game, your community. Join now. Powered by Smart, the official telco partner of the MPVA. At maraming salamat to our media partner Smart Sports at Puso Pilipinas.
So before this technical timeout, Caloocan's been struggling with their reception. And for Caloocan, they even tried to retain Dahab inside the court to at least be a replacement for the first libero, Lacerna, but still both didn't work to prioritize their first ball.
That has been the challenge, no, for AM Spikers since kanina pa. But we'll see. 12 serving 16. Pono sets this one to Bombita. Opposite still with a rocket. Hitting that cross court.
Of course, Bombita showcasing all her skills and even being up against the veteran players. Bombita still finds a way to showcase what she got and of course being a very effective and efficient opposite attacker para dito sa kupunan ng Dasmarinas.
Shika ibinigay. Pono setting this one to Bombita again off the block. Another one for Bombita. Cannot be controlled by the defense of Caloocan.
She is unstoppable for this set.
And that's a service error, point for Caloocan and Spikers. Substitution, player number 9 out, and player number 7, Bien Wanili.
Substitution, Juanilio checking in.
Bien Wanili serving.
Yan, Manilio replacing Rhea Manalo.
Almost an ace right there. Free ball for Caloocan. Bombita tries off the block once again and still good effort displayed by Caloocan, pero they couldn't keep the ball alive.
Bombita's really on fire for this match and not only for this set. Really contributing on double-digit score.
19 serving 13.
And that is a service error, point for Caloocan.
Babalik sa Caloocan ang bola. But still they are down by 5.
Susan Rasmon serving.
Raslan on deck. Smart move and read by Shika still. Naiangat pa rin yan ng Dasma. Yap, sets this one to Shika cross court. Yun yung mga na-miss ng Caloocan kanina pa dahil nilabas nila si Shika for a while. And hindi nila talaga na-maximize etong si Shika.
And itong mga klase ng atake coming from Shika Espinosa ay yung kinakailangan ng kanyang kupunan ngayon. Of course, that was made possible because of a good first ball.
Correct.
So, para sa Caloocan with previous reception errors, a good first ball can really help them to execute good plays and good ball distributions.
Yes, and another one is consistency. The second time around, the 1-2 play did not work for Dasmarinas. And Bombita, too long of a hit.
And medyo off lang yung wrist action ni Bombita from that last frame. And then it's a point for Caloocan. Now seeing Espinosa back on the court, we'll see how she'll be able to turn itong momentum na meron coming from Dasmarinas.
Shika tries but picked up by Makasaet. Bombita will attempt and she will find the floor. Bumawi from her error earlier.
Well,
And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now.
I think, if I'm correct, Bombita already had more than 20 points.
Yep, to the back. Cepada was there. Pono goes to Makasaet. Picked up by Tanagan. Goes to the middle this time with a hang time and hitting that cross court. Good adjustment as well. And that was a power spike presented by Smart Power All 99. Load now.
And ngayon, mas nakikita natin yung pag-activate ng middle para dito sa Dasmarinas.
Shika was blocked. She'll try again. Finding the gap in between the blockers. Raslan attacking from the back row. Angat pa. Miscommunication. Pono goes to the middle again, and that is just too long.
They're still trying to contest whether there was a block touch, but none was given by our first referee. So the point still goes to Caloocan.
no? Tumakasait. Back-to-back attack errors coming from Dasmarinas. Kaya naman napatawag na ng timeout dito si Coach Regine because of those consecutive errors at lumalapit unti-unti itong Caloocan AM Spikers. What do you think is the adjustment being done on the side of Caloocan, Lois?
Well, for this one, we saw kanina na ito, we have Shika Espinosa already had a point for this set. It's because of their first ball eh. So, if they're struggling with the reception in the first ball, if they already overcome itong kanilang adversity ngayon, then we'll see that there are more improved attacks on their side. But as for Dasmarinas, we're seeing na dumadami yung mga errors nila and giving Caloocan an edge to at least extend this match.
Pero with that error, that is impossible. As Caloocan, hindi nila na-utilize lahat ng opportunities that they have.
And at this time, that was, I would say, a very crucial error coming from Dahab.
Service errors. Back-to-back. De La Peña replacing Bahamonde on the floor.
Exchanges of errors. As well as substitution of players. Ang nakikita natin para sa set na to.
Binalik din si Manalo for Caloocan.
19, serving 22.
Tatlong hinahabol dito ng AM Spikers. Makasaet tries. Dugged. Shika. This one and again. A powerful hit by Shika Espinosa.
And again, if they really have a good first ball, a good ball distribution will be executed. And of course, may utilize nga nitong mga attackers like what Shika Espinosa did on that last frame.
Service error will not help if Caloocan wants to get another set win here, as Dasmarinas is only 2 points away in getting their first win of round 2. Yap, to Manalo, sent back, no coverage on the side of Caloocan. Caloocan coach Michael Palermo uses a timeout. Let's listen in.
Tingnan mo, I mean, tato spiker, tingnan mo yung ano, yung opener. Kasi yung opener kayang balon yan, ha? Pag tingnan mo yung middle kung saan nakatayo, yung middle nila. Pag masyadong malayo sa open, i-set ko sa ano. Ewan ko na isasakay.
Nagalitan niya ng mama mo.
Specific instructions na yung provide nito ni Coach Michael Palermo.
Now serving, Abby Bono. 1 point, serving to 20.
The playmaker for Dasmarinas serving. Manalo tries and that's it. An error given up by Caloocan AM Spikers. And it's again a Dasmarinas City Monarchs able to take this win in 4 sets. And what an effort displayed by the two teams. Kahit na muna nga dito ang Caloocan AM Spikers, it was the younger squad of Dasmarinas able to take home another victory to begin round number 2. It's quite a win para dito sa Dasmarinas, considering that these are the younger players and the second stringers of Dasmarinas City, Monarchs. But still, hindi sila nagpahuli in playing against the more veteran and experienced team of Caloocan Spikers. 25-20 is the count for set number 4.
Projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Kick Mobile. Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
Only projects, plans, play, game! With Smart Only 5G, valid for 3 days. Tuloy, tuloy, tuloy. Simply reliable for only 85 pesos. With Smart, load now.
Download the Kick app, choose your number, activate the eSIM, and own the country's first ever customizable mobile experience. Stay first in line for network priority. Kick Mobile. Download now.
2025, 25-16, 25-18, 25-20. Yan ang naging takbo ng storya ng laro sa pagitan ng Dasmarinas Monarchs at Caloocan Spikers. At nakita nga natin, there are a lot of players on the side of Dasmarinas who really contributed for this match. But there was this one girl who really stood among the rest, Lois.
And this player is none other than Natasha K. Bombita. She really displayed consistency, power, and efficiency, and she was truly unstoppable. Even pinahirapan itong depensa ng kanilang kalaban, which is the Caloocan Spikers. Truly someone that really stood out among her teammates.
And she is now with Fiona Bacani at the sidelines.
Ayan, so kasama nga po natin ngayon ang ating queen of the court, none other than Pochi Bombita. Pochi, congratulations! Alam ko hindi naging madali tong laban na to, especially without your usual players on the court today. Gaano kahalaga itong pag-step up mo and yung iba pang mga younger players in this team para maipanalo nyo itong laban na to?
Okay, so napag-usapan na po namin kagabi since wala po yung mga seniors namin, we really need to step up. And itong MPVA na to, it is our chance to build a connection inside the court, especially sa mga second six. And yung mga ates namin, alam kong palagi silang nandun to support us, to guide us. And nakadepende sa amin kung paano kami mag-step up, kung paano namin tutulungan yung sarili namin. Kasi isa sa mga challenge namin is kung paano kami maglaro ng maayos. Yun lang po.
Ngayon naman, Pochi, especially sa laban na to, kanina nung down kayo nung first set, nung huddle, sabi sa inyo ni Coach Reg na baka nakakalimutan nyo kung sino kayo. You're picked because you're one of the best. Ngayon naman, gaano kahalaga itong klaseng words of motivation, itong klaseng paniniwala sa inyo ng teammates mo, ng coaches mo, lalo na sa pag-perform mo ng ganyan kaayos sa loob ng court?
So sa ganun po situation, nakakatulong po yung ganung mga words of motivation ng coaches since sometimes po nakakalimutan din namin, especially kapag nakakalamang yung kalaban, yun nga, nanalo ng first set yung kalaban. So kailangan din namin something na gigising sa amin, gigising sa lahat ng player just to perform well.
Ayan, at nagising nga talaga kayo. The Dasmarinas Monarchs still undefeated, so congratulations so much again, Pochi. Meron ka pa bang gustong batiin ng mga nanonood sa'yo? Friends, family, supporters, Clover!
Hi Clover, and sa ate ko po na dumayo pang Pasig para manood. So hi po, say hi! Thank you po!
Ayan, so congratulations once again to Pochi, to Clover, and of course to the rest of our Dasmarinas City Monarchs. Now that's all from us over here. Back to you, Sheila and Lois.
Thank you so much, Fiona. And of course, congratulations to our queen of the court. None other than, of course, si Bombita having double-double performance, 21 points, 18 attacks, and 3 aces. Siya nga ang nagbigay ng much-needed offense for the team. At kaya naman, nakabawi ang Dasmarinas and able to sweep this game from a second set to the last. And what a way for them to start the second round ng MPVA. At syempre, balikan natin ang mga naging pangyayari sa larong ito. And here are your Smart's Powered Up Plays brought to you by Smart Unli 5G. Only 85 pesos for 3 days. Download the Smart app and load now. Well, the first set was in favor of Caloocan. We've seen, of course, most of the veteran or experienced players ng Caloocan. Nandun si Manalo, Espinosa, and Nieva. They are all contributing and did a good showing sa umpisa. Kaya naman nakuha ng Caloocan yung set number 1, Dois.
For set 1, it was really a strong start for Caloocan. However, para dito sa set number 2, it seems like etong Dasmarinas were able to breach the gap between how they struggled in the first set and also kudos pa rin dito sa performance na pinakita ni Pono of how she was able to orchestrate the play and good decision making, also shifting the momentum back on their side.
That's correct. Nakuha nga nila that momentum and was able to sustain that going into the third set, wherein nakita naman natin dito yung ibang contributions from other players of Dasma. We have Nomil, of course, and well, let's not forget the others, Bombita, Makasait, Bahamonde as well. So everyone, all hands on deck on the side of Dasmarinas. Para naman sa Caloocan, we've seen Manalo and Raslan, delivering from the second to the third, but still it won't be enough for them to get that win. And going up to set number 4, dito na sa umpisa bumawi ang Caloocan, tying up the game in a few times, pero it was a game that went in favor of Dasmarinas.
And of course, etong Dasmarinas didn't even give a chance para dito sa Caloocan to claim their first win. And also the connection was really strong, especially for this set. And also like to go back on how the words of Coach Regine made an impact into reclaiming itong confidence na meron ng Dasmarinas.
Totoo, hindi man nila na-replicate yung straight sets. I'm referring to Dasmarinas, that they were able still to get the win to start off second round of our tournament. And with that, we will be able to see, of course, the performance when it comes to the numbers and statistics of these two teams. Nakita natin yung contributions ng mga players big time. But still, and definitely, yung errors ng Caloocan nag-contribute ng malaki when it comes to the total performance of the team.
As we can see here, in terms of attacks, they were able to execute 54 points against Caloocan AM Spikers with 36, and it only shows how effective their passes are, that they were able to execute good plays. And in terms of blockings, medyo hindi naman nagkakalayo, and as well as aces, merong magandang exchanges na pinakita in terms of service. But then again, it was the error of Caloocan that gave Dasmarinas an edge para panalo itong kanilang muling pagtatapat.
That's correct. It's a total dominance when it comes to the attacks, and I think really big factor on how it affected itong panalo ng Dasma. At definitely on the side naman of Caloocan. Pero unang game pa lamang yan dahil volleyball action continues. In our next game, you will be seeing Pasay Lady Voyagers playing against San Juan Lady Knights. So tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang matches natin dito sa Maharlika Pilipinas Volleyball Association. Kaya naman, stay tuned dahil magbabalik pa kami.